I've got a contract to become the next West Ham manager, but they want me to win the Premier League and the Champions League. With this team? Are they even serious? To be fair, if the West Ham board give me time, maybe it is possible. But time is something the West Ham board haven't really been giving their managers. They've sacked 2 coaches in the last 1 year, and I could be the 3rd. Every season, the West Ham board is going to give us a challenge, and if we fail, our best player will be sold for half their market value. Now, the board are going to show a bit of leniency if we fail this challenge once, but if we do it twice in a row, I'm going to be the one walking out of the club. All right, guys, we're starting off with season 1, 16th in the Premier League. Oh boy, what on earth has happened with West Ham? If I remember correctly, they recently won the Europa Conference League, and now they're here 16th. Well, same points as Man United. I mean, that means something.
I don't think so.
Oh boy, they're playing a stinky 5 at the back formation too, and look at the amount of injuries. Why is Kufal at striker? Anyways, guys, we've got a lot of work to do in this first season itself. Unfortunately, we're outside the transfer window, so we can only focus on getting our tactics right. And that's why my goal in this half a season that we're getting is to just build a good foundation. Then we can focus on building the team from next year. But hold up, guys. We don't know our season challenge just yet. Imagine if it's something like getting a Europa League spot or something. That will virtually be impossible. But okay, I'm revealing our challenge, and we need to finish top 10. Do you know what, guys? I think that's a very reasonable expectation for a club like West Ham especially. But the scenario we're in, 16th in the league, 9 points off top 10. I think we're gonna need a miracle. All right, boys, it's time to cook up S2G ball once again. And I think a 4-3-3 formation is something I want to build towards. I don't know if it's gonna work for us in this first season, but we need to make Bowen and Kudus our main players. They've got a lot of talent. In the midfield, I would have loved if Paqueta wasn't injured, but it is what it is. We're starting mid-season. We're gonna have to deal with all these problems. But boy, is this West Ham team looking really average. It's such a shame that we can't make any signings. Well, actually, maybe we can. Evan Ferguson is currently on loan. And bro, he's one of the most promising strikers in the Premier League. He was insane for Brighton. And I don't want this to only be a loan deal. I mean, we've got like 70 mil in the bank. It's gonna go to waste if we don't use it. And so, despite being outside the transfer window, we were able to make the signing of Evan Ferguson. Only cost us 7 mil too. Okay, the signing of Evan Ferguson kind of changes everything because I want to focus on him and develop him. We'll play him at striker with Bowen and Kudus on either side. And I think, yup, this kind of a setup does suit the team. Oh no, both Kudus and Bowen are wide midfielders. If I want to play them as wingers, I'm going to have to train them up for that. I think the easier play might be going to this 4-1-4-1 formation. I kind of like this. Everybody's playing in their right position. And okay, this team looks good. Maybe it's going to be a bit more solid defensively. And defensively, we're going to need to be strong because right now we've got a negative 17 goal difference. Since I can't make any more signings, the only other thing I can do is hire some coaches so we play better. But man, it does feel like my hands are tied for this first season. It's so painful to not be able to make signings. Hang on, just like we signed Evan Ferguson, surely there are more players on loan here. And there you go, to Debo, 25-year-old centre-back, 79 rated. Oh, but we can't make him permanent for some reason. That is annoying. Well, if he performs well this season, we'll consider it. But for now, though, I think I've done all I can. Let's get through the remainder of the season and see if we can secure a top 10 finish. End of the season, and this is making me sad, boys. We're nowhere near the top 10. Man United, who were with us in 15th, they've made it to the top 10. We're actually exactly where we started, 16th. In fact, our goal difference only got worse. Oh boy, the signing that I made permanent has done absolutely nothing. He's had a stinker. This is the worst feeling in career mode, when you sign a player and they end up being the biggest flop. I'm not losing hope on Evan Ferguson yet, but oh boy, this was bad. Fulcrum came back from his injury and scored a couple of goals, but that's horrendous too. Jared Bowen is him, man. He really carried with 12 goals. Kudus coming in with 5. I definitely can't wait to get into season 2 where we'll have a full transfer window to try and improve this team. But first, we're gonna have to deal with the consequences. We failed our season's challenge, and that means we're gonna have to sell our best player for half their market value. And right now, our highest rated player is Jared Bowen. His market value is 26 mil. We're gonna have to sell him for 13. That would be brutal. But we've actually got a choice to make, because Kudus 2 is our joint highest rated player. He's worth 32, so if we decide to sell Kudus, we could get a bit more money. I can't believe that in just season 2 with West Ham, we're having to choose between Kudus and Bowen. This might be controversial, boys, but I think I'm gonna go with Bowen. Only reason because Kudus is younger. I know he can grow a lot more. It's a sacrifice we're gonna need to make. We've literally got a £33.4 million offer for Jared Bowen, but we're gonna have to counter this to 13 million and just accept it. Brilliant. I mean, what a negotiation from me, that is. This really stinks, man, seeing Jared Bowen leave the club. And in a way, it wasn't even my fault. I was put in an impossible situation. From 16th, how was I supposed to get this team top 10? But now the pressure's even more, because if for season 2 we fail our challenge, I'm gonna be the one walking out of the club. All right, guys, I'm now revealing our challenge for season 2. Okay, it's the same thing again. Finish top 10 in the Premier League. Now that we're gonna have a full season and also a pretty ridiculous budget of 122 million, I think we can pull this off. I mean, we literally have to pull this off, otherwise this video will end. The good news is we're not going to be dealing with much injuries here. Paqueta's going to get back into the team. With Bowen gone, I think I'm going to play Somerville on the left, Mohamed Kudus on the right. Call me crazy, but I don't want to really change my attack. Even though Ferguson and Somerville are low rated, I think they'll be more valuable if we trust and grow them. But in the midfield, I do think we need someone world class. And since Todibo's gone, we could also do with another centre back. And finally, probably the most important as well, this team needs a really good goalkeeper. And to start with, guys, I want to go big. I want to bring Conor Gallagher back to the Premier League. He's actually been incredible for Atletico Madrid. And for our West Ham project, if we want to become a serious club, we need someone like him in the midfield. He's English as well, understands what it means to play for a Premier League club. All we need is to get the right price on this deal. And I think we have, because 50 million is not bad at all. We've got Conor Gallagher joining West Ham. Now we need someone really good in that centre-back position to partner with Agard. Pretty sure Agard was loaned out last year. We've only just got him back. But yeah, it's good to have an 81 rated centre-back. Can't complain. Now, do I want to bring back Jean-Claire Todibo? I know he's got the talent. He's 80 rated. Still room to grow because he's 25. Do you know what? I think we can get a good deal on him as well. Ooh, interesting. They want Tomas Soucek in a swap deal. And to be fair, we've got Edson Alvarez, Guido Rodriguez, this young kid, Freddie Potts as well. I think it might make sense to get this swap deal done. We'll just try and reduce the fee a little bit. And there you go. Now what we need is probably the most important position, the goalkeeper spot. If we go into the season with Areola, we're gonna have a negative goal difference and probably out of the top 10, which would mean that I would be walking out of the club after handing over my resignation. But don't worry, I've got a plan, and that's signing Andrea Lunin. He's got experience playing at Real Madrid in the biggest of games. 82 rated, 26 years old, available at a really good price. And I think Real Madrid would be okay to sell him because Courtois is their main keeper. And that's why for 36 million, West Ham have got their new number one, Andrea Lunin. With the signings we've made, I think our midfield and defense is really strong now, which means maybe we can go for a more attacking formation, the 4-3-3 with the CDM. It's one of my favorite formations in the game. And I think Kudus and Somerville can really shine there. And look at that. Somerville just went up to 78 after becoming a left winger. And Kudus too has gone up to an 83. That's what we need. Now, if we don't finish top 10 in the Premier League, I'm getting sacked and the video will end in disappointment. We've made it to the end of the season and I'm nervous. And well, we're not in the top 8, which isn't a good sign. But we're also not in the bottom 8. Where on earth have we finished? And it's going to be 9th. Oh my days, the relief. 61 points, a positive goal difference as well. We have completed this season's challenge, and I'm avoiding the sack. But you know what, boys? This has been a really successful season because look at all the growth. Somerville up to 81, Kudus 84. Midfield is looking better than ever. And oh wow, Evan Ferguson had a ridiculously good season. 28 goals. Kudus as well with 43 goal contributions. Honestly, guys, we've built the perfect foundation for success. If we can just keep improving this team with new signings, I reckon soon we'll have a team to fight for the Premier League. But don't forget, every season the pressure's going to be on, because even in season 3 we're going to have a challenge to complete. Alright guys, we're now in season 3, but what is the board going to expect from us? They want us to qualify for European football, which basically means top 6, but that's not all. They want us to reach the round of 16 of any cup competition. Bro, just imagine we managed to qualify for Europa League, finishing 5th, but then we end up getting knocked out early in both the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. Yup, we'll still fail the challenge. The only good thing is that this season we can afford to fail the challenge. The board will not sack us. We'll get another season to prove ourselves. So yeah, this is a season I think we should be able to take some risks. But to be honest, I do agree with the board as well. We need to be aiming for top 6. I mean, the board are backing us with decent money. 91 million is pretty good. Okay, looking at our team, a left back is absolute priority. We've got Emerson in here. He should be a bench player, guys, not a starter. And also, I think we can do with a bit more quality in the midfield. As good as Paqueta is, you saw saw the difference Conor Gallagher made last season. We get an 84, 85 rated midfielder, and we're going to be looking really good. For the left-back spot, I think the player is going to be the scout in the Premier League. And I mean, instantly, we found the perfect option, boys. Ait Nori plays for Wolves, knows the Premier League, and I think we might be able to get him at 40 million. Yo, that is an absolute steal. We don't even have to pay the Premier League tax on him. And there you go, boys. Ait Nori to West Ham. We've sorted out our left-back problem. Now that I'm on the hunt for a centre-mid, I just remember Declan Rice, boys. What a player he was for West Ham. Helped them win the Conference League back in the day. If at some point there's an opportunity for us to bring him back, I would love to do it. But I think it can only happen if we make West Ham a Champions League club. But if and when we do that, I'm going to try and make a move. For now, I see Curtis Jones' contract expiring, and nothing makes me more happy than seeing that. Because now we can get an 84 rated centre mid for, I think, an absolute steal, boys. We might get this deal for like 35 mil. And yup, it's actually going to happen. With signings like this, we're literally making West Ham great again. Nah, guys, this team is now actually looking really solid, especially from where we started. I think the only weakness you can say in this team right now is the attack, because we've stuck with the players that were here from the beginning. But hey, if we see some solid growth for Kudus, for Ferguson, for Somerville, I think we can have a good season. And don't forget, even though I can't get sacked for not completing the challenges, we will lose out on our best player for half their market value if we fail. And that could be either Kudus, Jones, or Gallagher, depending on their overalls. So yeah, let's complete both of our challenges. While we wait to simulate through the season, if you guys could subscribe to the channel, that would be amazing. We've made it to the end of the season, and okay, at least there's some solid growth. Look at Ait Nori's overall, Kudus as well. Ferguson, I'm trusting him, but he needs to be growing more. But now every player in this team is 80 plus rated. But does that mean we can satisfy the board's challenge to get into the top 6? And yes, we can. Only just. We finish exactly in 6th spot with 66 points. That should at least get us into the Conference League, maybe even the Europa League. But guys, we've not completed the board's challenge just yet. We need to also make it to the round of 16 of any of the cup competitions. And brilliant, boys. We got knocked out in the early rounds of the Carabao Cup. I genuinely can't believe this. No way, guys. We got knocked out in the round of 32 of the FA Cup as well to Aston Villa. We didn't make it to the round of 16. Unbelievable. And that means in spite of showing incredible progress in the Premier League, qualifying for European competitions, next season we're gonna have to sell our highest rated player for half their market value. That's gonna sting. And straight away, season 4, we start off with a big decision. Ait Nori or Kudus? One of them is gonna have to get sacrificed. Kudus is definitely worth more. We'll get about 36 million, which is half his market value. But guys, it's gonna be so much more expensive to sign a high rated attacker. I don't want to get rid of Kudus. To be fair, Ait Nori's market value is pretty high as well. We only signed him last season, but now we're forced to transfer list him. It's actually done, boys. We've been forced to sell Ait Nori. The fact that we're only going to get 34.7 million for him, it's brutal. And now we're under pressure again this season, because if we fail the board's challenges, I'm going to get sacked. And oh no, guys, our challenges are getting even harder. The board want us to finish top 5 now in the Premier League. And also they want us to reach the quarterfinals of any cup competition. Well, with Ait Nori's departure, we do have 133 million. Let's do the best job we can by strengthening this team. That's the only way we'll be able to complete our challenges and keep my job. And let's start by getting a left back. I've just found a left back I've never used in career mode before. Alvaro Carreras, 24-year-old Spaniard, 84 overall. We have managed to sign him, but boy, was this expensive. Had to dish out 55 million for a left back. But hey, we need to replace Ait Nori with a player of the same caliber, and I think Carreras is just that. I'm now in two minds between signing a new striker or a new centre-back. I think we could do with someone to replace Agard because of his age. But also, guys, Evan Ferguson, I think, needs to be doing more, needs to be growing more. Do you know what? Let's trust him one more season, because I know if he can start growing, he'll easily get to like a 90 overall plus. Let's bring in a centre-back to replace Agard. And oh, wow, we've got way too many centre-backs at the club. And so I'm selling a couple of them to make some extra cash. Now we've got almost 96 mil. It's time to go all in on a centre-back. And oh my days, Mickey van der Ven would be perfect for us. The fastest centre-back in the world. 87 rated as well, and I think we should have the cash to sign him. And looks like we've got more than enough, because for 75 million, we're getting a deal done. We've just signed the fastest centre-back in the world for West Ham. Van der Ven's going to be crazy here. In spite of losing Ait Nori, I think we've made some solid upgrades to this team. Now let's get through the season and see if I get to keep my job. End of the season, and come on, guys. 4th in the Premier League. We're going to be in the Champions League next year. And so far, there will be in next year because I've completed the first challenge. We've secured a top 5 spot. Boy, was it close. Oh, no. But once again, we got knocked out in the round of 32 of the FA Cup. Oh my days, what a relief. We at least made the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. We got knocked out, but the challenge was just to make it to the quarters. But wait a minute, guys. We might actually end up winning a trophy because West Ham are once again in the Conference League final. Okay, I'm not surprised we've had a successful season like this because look at Kudus' stats. Evan Ferguson as well, slowly getting better. But yo, guys, the ratings in this team now, it's starting to look seriously good. And winning the Conference League would be a big statement that we're ready to win the big trophies. Let's see if we can pull this off. Oh my days, yes we can. Curtis Jones scoring an extra time winner. We've got our first trophy with West Ham. But this is just the start. Our main goal is to get them to win the Premier League as well as the Champions League. Season 5, and at least we're not under pressure to get sacked. And that means we can make some brave decisions. I genuinely believe this team is brilliant, but we are like one signing away from becoming a Premier League winning team. And I think this season we need to make it happen. But what are the challenges from the board? And looks like they agree with us. They want us to fight for the Premier League title, which means finishing first or second. Well, we'll have to at least put up a fight. Oh, and they also want us to reach the quarterfinals of the Champions League. I know this team has got barely any Champions League experience, but hey, we've won the Conference League. We do have knockout experience. I think if we make that one signing I want, we'll probably be able to complete all our challenges. And I think you guys had a hunch who I was looking to sign. I told you guys before that if we qualified for Champions League, I would be interested in signing him back. He somehow moved to Brighton. I do not know why. But hey, it's the perfect opportunity for us to bring Declan back home. And hey, being a Champions League club, a Conference League winning team does have its perks. We've got almost 200 million to spend. And so it's done, boys. Declan Rice is coming home. We're bringing him back to West Ham. The team we have, guys, right now, it is absolutely incredible. Our defense looks rock solid. Our midfield looks unbelievable. The only place where maybe we can do with improvements is the attack. Somerville's only 84. Evan Ferguson's only 84. And we do have some pretty big offers for Evan Ferguson. 56 mil from Bournemouth. Also 58 million from Monaco. We sell him, we can practically sign any striker we want. But nah, guys, I want to trust Evan Ferguson. We've kept him in our team from day one because we believe in him. And I don't think now is the time to sell him out. This is going to be the West Ham team we're sticking with for the season. Time to see if we can put up a fight for the title. All right, guys, we've made it to the end of the season, and it's good to see that West Ham are 6th in the Champions League, which means we're going to skip the playoffs straight to the round of 16, where we have knocked out Feyenoord. Wait, that means we've completed our board challenge of reaching the Champions League quarterfinals. Let's go. But wait, we've even knocked out Lazio, and we've even knocked out PSG. No way. We've taken West Ham to a Champions League final. Bro, I was not expecting this to happen this season. I have no idea how we pulled this off. I mean, yeah, the ratings of our players are really strong. Okay, yeah, this explains it. Evan Ferguson with a 40-goal season. I am so glad we trusted him. Massive season from Somerville as well. Captain Kudus didn't do all that much. But yo, I'm so glad that the OG frontline we had at West Ham has now taken us to the Champions League final. But wait, guys, if we've reached the Champions League final, what about the Premier League? Remember, we need to finish 1-2 to at least complete the board challenge. But instead, we've ended up winning it. Yo! 2 points more than Chelsea. West Ham are Premier League winners. With that, we've completed one of the goals we had on our contract when becoming the West Ham manager. And that means the only thing that's left is the Champions League. And we can literally do it now. 5 seasons of building and developing this West Ham team, and it all comes down to this. Let's get the Hammers their Champions League trophy. Honestly, boys, I do feel like we are a bit underprepared because I think we got really lucky winning both the Prem and the Champions League final in the same seasons, and we can feel the luck. It's complete chaos there. We just about survived. I do feel like we're the massive underdogs here, pretenders in this Champions League final. But hey, throughout the history of the Champions League, there have been a lot of underdog clubs that have ended up winning it. We're gonna have to do something special now, and Mohamed Kudus is looking to get exactly that done here. Still Kudus finding space but puts it wide. That was agonizingly close. Oh, it does feel good to have Declan Rice back in a West Ham shirt. He can pick out passes like that. Evan Ferguson heading it down for Mohamed Kudus. We could do something here on the attack here. If Kudus can bring it back inside. Nope. No, he can't. And now Bayern Munich have a chance. Here we go, sliding in. Bad tackle there. Don't be a red card, please. That can't be a red card. My heart, boys. My heart. We're so lucky that's a yellow. West Ham's Champions League could have been stolen right there. Now the second half is kicked off, boys. What I will say is, though, we've gone toe-to-toe with Bayern Munich. We're still standing in the second half. We need to find a way to score that first goal, though. Is it going to be Evan Ferguson? Who's going to be the hero? Wan-Bissaka. Backwards for Kudus, who's found a bit of space, but deflection. And now Bayern Munich are on the charge here. This is not looking good. We are defending this nicely, but Kai Havertz has got a chance. We go charging in. That could have easily been a goal. Bro, I'm looking hella tensed on the touchline. We could still have a chance here, boys. Evan Ferguson goes for goal, and it's in. The player that we doubted from the start, whether he was good enough to be a West Ham player. I personally thought about replacing him at a few points, but nah, we ended up showing our faith in him. And guess what? It's him that's opened up the scoring for us in this Champions League final. Guys, Bayern Munich are flustered. We now just need to defend for a couple of minutes, and West Ham will be European champions. And the ref has blown the whistle. It's done. We've taken West Ham to Champions League glory. I genuinely didn't expect it to happen this season because our team was still growing. There were still imperfections, but we came through as the underdogs, won both the Premier League and the Champions League, despite the pressure of the board wanting to sack us, sell our best players and whatnot. In the end, we've come through as Champions League winners with West Ham. Now, if you enjoyed this video, why not watch me take a trip down to Italy to manage Juventus? Click here.